stuffing. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece.
All right, Shalom Israel.
Of mercy.
All right, Shalom. Thank you for joining us again for another class here at ISBHPK, Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. All right, we greatly appreciate you signing on. As you know, we're here out of Norfolk, Virginia. All right, 2610 Granby Street. We've been here going almost like about a year, 9 months out here, putting in this work. If you have anybody in the area, in the 757 area, come on out. Again, 2610 Granby Street. All right. Our class times are Tuesdays and Thursdays for all those that are new that are signing on. We ask that you subscribe to the channel. All right, subscribe to the channel. We have classes every Tuesday and Thursday from the time of 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. All right. As well, we have a school that's been in Houston over 14 years doing diligent work. We got the brother Quad Zap out there. Their address is 85. What is that? Yep, 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. We have all those on the screen. Yeah, so you see it on the screen. They have class from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Monday and Wednesday from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then they have Friday night Sabbath class at 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. And for all those, even in Houston, if you don't see it online, they're still having class. So go ahead and go out. Enjoy that classroom setting so you can be around brothers and sisters, all right? As well, we have a school in San Antonio. They've been over there 25 years. And, they've been putting in a lot of good work. They have a new building out there. And we have Albuquerque as well, getting it together as well to get them a building and to get some teaching done out there, all right? So for some upcoming events, I know that you've been hearing it. What happened to the super chat function? I think the function is still there. Brother, Michaela, was that Michaela?
Yeah,
I believe it's the chat is still there. But for some upcoming events, we have Purim. All right, so Purim is going to be coming up on March 6th and 7th. It's a Friday and Saturday, so Sabbath night and Sabbath on the Sabbath on that Saturday, we're going to be congregating together in a holy convocation and enjoy that holy day. All right, Purim. Again, if you're in the surrounding areas, come on out. We're going to have a good time. Food, brotherhood, sisterhood. For those that are online, if you're in the areas, listen, come down and meet us, man. Face to face. It's a beautiful thing. All right. And we also have Passover. Passover is coming up as well, which is going to be April the 12th. It's already certified, April the 12th. The location is going to be in San Antonio, Texas. All right. So Houston's been hosting the last couple years, which has been beautiful. So San Antonio wants to go ahead and take the helm on that one. So we're looking forward to that. The address should be on the screen. All right. And there should be a link as well to RSVP for the Passover. So again, we ask if you would like to give alms for that. The Passover is free. There's no cost for Passover. If you're coming from a far distance and it's a little pricey, there's no price. Again, we do this out of our heart so that brothers and sisters can come together and enjoy this high holy day of Passover. So, but if you do and are able to, please, you can pay for the lamb, give some alms for the lamb, some alms for the building itself, for all the things that's going to go on for this beautiful event. Again, that's going to be April 12th, 2020. It's a Sunday, so it should be on Easter Sunday. So it gives brothers and sisters time to get off. And, I know when you deal with Esau and his schedule, is that they give off about 2 days for that, the weekend and plus Monday. So you get a 3-day holiday. So we have that. All right. Going with other ways to watch us, we have Brother Mashaba. Brother Mashaba's been in this truth over 20 years. And he has a blog talk radio that is highly known throughout the U.S. There's a lot of archive classes on there with a lot of good information, with a lot of intelligent brothers on there, from Kawakab to Banabai to Shamshawan to Yasser Allah, to all these men, these pioneers that have been putting work in getting this word out. So there's a lot of good breakdowns on there, and I definitely I suggest that you download that Blog Talk Radio, or however you can get on it, but you can go online at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And that's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 a.m. All right, that's going to be Brother Mashaba. Israelware, due to the fact of us not having Passover, they're not taking any orders now, but they will be taking orders after Passover. So we'll assume that. Get your garments up, get your headbands, get your fringes, shirt with the fringes popping. And, the ladies also do purses, dresses. So we have every aspect of the fringe game. All right. Go ahead and change up our American attire and switch to our royal, priestly, and daughterly garments. All right. As well, you can contact the priest whenever available. We ask during class, text only during class. All right. And we have the numbers up on the screen of Priest Kazakia, 281-707-2737. And we also have Priest Quatzazap, that's going to be on there as well, 303-557-8979. All right. So with that, obviously we have a business. You can see it on the screen. You could definitely check that out. Click the link, and it'll take you to our business of Sweet Ambiance. All right. And for that, again, we thank for all the donations that came by, that people continue to give. Because we had somebody to give toothpaste and toothbrushes and deodorant, because you never know who might need that comes into school. So we greatly appreciate that alms. Books, Bibles, Apocryphers, we need it. Pens, pads, papers for the people, because they come in and they want to learn, and they're eager to learn. So if you have any hookups on desk, any good van hookups, listen, we need it. We're trying to visit a city near you, but we need help, and we greatly appreciate those that have been giving. So with that, we're going to open up with some questions. If not, we're going to go right into class. We got a pretty thick class. We want to hit some scriptures on to get some understanding, but if you have questions, send them through. All right. It's a little snowy out here in Virginia, so it's a little, slow to get in. But we are here. The snow's not going to stop us. Inclement weather is not going to hold us back. All right, so, all right. Got some people coming on. All right, slowly but surely signing in. And thank you for following us. All those that's been with us for all the years. Again, it don't stop. It does not stop. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you will see a class. The dedication of the brothers that you see, that you see and don't see to make this happen, man. It's a group effort. So we greatly appreciate everybody. All right, so I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. If you want to bring out some questions, if not, we're gonna jump into this topic. All right, we're gonna jump right in. So we got some heat. Bring it out to let the people hear. All right. Okay. Make sure my charger's popping. It's not. Okay. I hate this. Okay. Do this. Nothing? All right, so we're going to go right into class to go ahead and start it off. This topic, today we're going over self-esteem. Self-esteem is it's a big thing. It's prominent in the world and plaguing our people as well. When you deal with self-esteem, how one feels about oneself, especially coming into this truth. You see a lot of pioneers, a lot of individuals that have been grown and have matured and lived and learned in this truth. And a lot of times, those looking on the outside, looking in, you're a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit reluctant on, doing the things that you want to do in this truth and teaching your people, the sisters, and coming in and believing and doing what the women of the Bible did, which was help out the congregation if you were single, be a pillar of rest and a helpmate to your man in this truth. Self-esteem is a big emotional and it's something that our people deals with. All right. And to open it up, we're going to go into the definition of self-esteem. If you can get that for me. The definition of self-esteem. Because this is good for the kids as well. Because a lot of times in school, if it's junior high, high school, you got a lot of kids that like to tease. And they like to say, like, you're not good enough. And a lot of us, we've had that growing up. Even by our parents, the mother telling the son, you're going to be just like your daddy and he ain't or you get women that get just talked down to by their mother because their mother has psychological issues and mental issues. So now you're down talking your daughter, oh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're not going to be this or that. And it takes a toll and your self-esteem gets affected. But let's see what this definition of self-esteem is. Go ahead.
Self-esteem. A confidence and satisfaction in oneself.
Yeah, confidence and satisfaction in oneself. And a lot of times we look at a lot of outside arenas and attributes of others, and we like to judge ourselves off of that, and that's not a proper judgment. Read that again.
A confidence and satisfaction in oneself.
Yeah, confidence and satisfaction. That's what it is. A lot of people don't have confidence in themselves. Especially in a new arena. A lot of people don't have confidence in the new arena, which is the truth. But you got to think about it. When you deal with LeBron James or Michael Jordan, these basketball players, you think they was confident when they first started in Pee Wee or in their minor leagues in junior high?
They start out with cockiness.
A lot of them, as growing up.
Oh, you say at the beginning. No,
yeah, beginning. The beginning stages. Beginning stages are not, because they're still trying to figure out how to shoot, what's the proper way. Listen, their father, like Kobe Bryant, his father was a basketball player overseas, right? So I know his father was hard on him. But just think about the expectation that his father put on him and the expectation that Kobe Bryant knew that his dad wanted. It'll trip you out a little bit because you may think that, dang, I might not be that good. But what did they do? They kept practicing and practicing and practicing to boost their what? Read that again.
A confidence and satisfaction in oneself.
Yeah, confidence and satisfaction. The only way that you're going to be confident in yourself is if you do things continually and go through the rough areas and get better and learn and grow. But our people, we don't go through those stages. And we're going to show in the Bible men that had self-esteem issues, because you're not the only one. We're not the only ones. And a lot of times we think that, in the world I did this. I can't be a teacher of the Bible and speak eloquently like my elders do, but you can. It just takes practice, and we're going to see that. And we're going to show that there were individuals in the Bible that had self-esteem issues because a lot of them were reluctant. A little hesitant to move and to think that they were able to do the duty that was given to them. Just like us, we're reluctant. Oh man, I don't know if I should, go to, San Antonio to pass out flyers. I think about myself. I would never forget it. Because when you asked me the first time to go pass out flyers, we was going to San Antonio to street speak. Okay. So I did like a San Antonio. But then I was like, you know what? I'm rolling. And that was it, and I was a little reluctant, but again, once you get around and start getting involved in doing more, that spirit starts being more. Read that definition of self-esteem.
A confidence and satisfaction in oneself.
Yeah, you start being more confident in yourself and knowing that you can do things. What else you got on that self-esteem?
Self-respect.
Self-respect. You look at yourself and knowing who you are. You don't have to second guess or like last class. You don't have to have validation from somebody else to tell you who you are. Know ye not yourselves? It says self-respect. But a lot of our people, women and men, have self-esteem issues. And the first person I want to go into that had a little self-esteem issue, you may not think so, but he did. We're going to go to Jonah. Because Jonah, this man here, listen, Jonah had a lot of issues, man. And it doesn't go too deep in understanding what exactly it was, but you could tell by his moves and how he was dealing that he had an issue. He had an issue with himself. He had an issue with the job that he was supposed to do because he might have thought that he wasn't good enough. Even if you're angry or you feel as if that you're not capable of doing it, he vowed a vow. So he knew what was required of him. But we're going to go and look at Jonah first to see exactly how his self-esteem was affected, or how his self-esteem was low, not to the level where it needed to be at. So we're going to start off at Jonah chapter 1 and verse 1.
Jonah 1 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai.
Yeah, so the word was coming to Jonah. Jonah knew what was going on. He wasn't just a freshman on the squad. No. Jonah was a senior. He knew what was going on. So the word of the Most High came to Jonah. Read.
Saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it.
Right, see, so we know that Jonah already had the word in him. Jonah knew the word. He said, get up, go cry, teach your people, tell them what?
For the wickedness is come up before me.
Yeah, the wickedness of Nineveh, the people of Nineveh, they was doing some wicked acts. So I need you to go out there, Jonah, and handle that for me. Read.
But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
Jonah did what?
Rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
Yeah, Jonah left. Jonah said he fled unto Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Hold on, Jonah. Hold on, wait a minute. Christ, the Most High, is calling you to do your duty, but you fleeing. What's going on, Jonah? What's the issue? What's your problem, man? You think that you're not fit for that calling? What was it? Was he a little scared? He had a little timid feeling about maybe one man dealing with thousands of people? But it could have been this though too. It could have been the people themselves that was the issue. Maybe they was looking at Jonah a type of way. You know how people look at you sideways. I remember my dad, man. I used to look at him with my head cocked to the side. He's like, man, shut your neck. People just look at you like they ain't even listening. Yeah, nigga, okay. I hear you. What was it, Jonah? Why did he flee? Read that again.
But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord and went down to Joppa.
Yeah, he went down to a whole other city to flee. Jonah wanted to be by himself, man. But there was an issue with his self-esteem, because if he was confident, he'd have been like, Khan, out of one Khan. Khan, Lord, I'm going. I'm going where you want to send me to. But Jonah said, hell no, I'm dipping. I got to roll out, man. I don't feel good. My stomach hurt. Got the bubble guts. I got to roll to Joppa. Like, that ain't no excuse, Jonah. But we got to look at his actions. Because your actions show what's in a man, what's in a woman. Jonah fled. Read.
And he found a ship going to Tarshish.
Yeah, he tried to hop on a ship. Are you for real, Jonah? You really think you're going to run from the Creator? What is in your mind, man? You really having a panic attack right now, Jonah? Anxiety? You know what I'm saying? Your heart's starting to flutter?
Right.
Come on, man. You know how they say it's either you're going to fight or flight? Jonah flew. Jonah shipped out.
Right.
Said he went to Tarshish. Read.
So he paid the fare thereof. And went down into it.
Yeah, paid the fare, went down into it. Come on.
To go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
Right.
But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea.
Right. Most High was like, nigga, please. You better get it together. But we're just seeing the acts of Jonah. We got to look at the people of the Bible. We're going to go deeper into Jonah. I'm not going to go through the whole story. But how Jonah was moving in his emotions that he was saying, Jonah had a self-esteem issue. He had a self-esteem problem. The confidence in knowing that he can go down there and do what the Most High told him, he had an issue with that. Because he fled. Think about it. If y'all know that y'all can fight and the man punch you in the face, what you gonna do? Huh?
You gonna fight?
You gonna fight back. You might, I've been ready to throw this Wing Chun out. I've been ready for this. You gonna fight back. You're not gonna run. I mean, it depends. You know me, I'm a fighter. I probably be like, hands up, don't shoot. I ain't trying to fight. But still, just showing the fact that if you're confident in something, you're gonna do that. And especially preaching the word, teaching the word. You've been chosen by the Most High. You've gone through the gauntlet. You've gone through those tests. Because Jonah had been. That's why the Most High was dealing with him. Keep reading.
And there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken.
Right.
Then the mariners were afraid.
Yeah. The Most High sent this storm down to Jonah, but we're gonna jump to Jonah chapter 2, because we already understand what happens in this story with Jonah. If you haven't read that, I advise you to read it. It's a short read. It lets you know that the Most High rocked Jonah's life to where he was praying on his knees, on his belly. Yeah, Lord. Even that, the people that was on the ship knew that something was going on with the man down there. Oh, you got to pray to your Lord, man. I know you Hebrew Israelites. Y'all God is the God of all gods. But Jonah was trying to flee. Jump to Jonah chapter 2.
Jonah 2:1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord.
Yeah, my affliction. What affliction? Was it the sea itself? Or was it your own affliction, your own self-esteem affliction that you were dealing with? Your unsurety of, or your unconfident, you being unconfident in yourself. Listen, we're not the only people, man. We go through it in life. Come on, think about it. When you dealing with science, right? A lot of you college individuals that went to college. Tell me how you felt when you didn't study for that biology exam. Oh, you was not confident. You was like, oh, no, Lord. Oh, okay. Let me just go ahead and, how they say you do it, Shamiyar, when you go with a Scantron and you just circle everything. What do they call that? When you just guess. Y'all know what it is.
What is it?
I forget the term of it. You just kind of just go through the Scantron and just do it. Huh? You said what?
Cheat?
No, not cheat. No, you just fill it out. But they call it a certain thing when you fill out a Scantron. I know somebody online got it.
Oh, really?
But just showing that you ain't confident in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're just going to do whatever you can. But Jonah was in the same predicament. You trying to figure out the word? Yeah, me too. But Jonah was not confident in what he was doing. And we see here that now he's praying to the Most High because he messed up. He knew that the Most High gave him the ability to do what he had to do. To teach the people in Nineveh.
Oh my God.
You went down?
No, you're fine.
No.
I messed up.
Keep reading.
And he heard me out of the belly of hell cried out. And thou heardest my voice.
Right, you can jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came in unto thee, into thy holy temple.
Yeah, so his prayer came into the Most High. Said into that holy temple. When he fainted, he was weak. Jonah's hilarious, man. Jonah was a stubborn, again, he had a lot of issues, man. Because he literally tried to run from the Most High. But how many of us do the same thing? Due to the fact of how we feel and our emotions and feeling that we're not adequate enough. We're reluctant to do the duty that we know that men of the Bible, Hebrew Israelites, men and women are supposed to do. Again, if it's not teaching, listen, put your brick in and pass out some flyers. Come to class, be a reader. Do something. Get some works in. Have that rap sheet filled when Yahweh Shai comes back. But Jonah is trying to dip. Jonah is a priest, man. He had responsibility. Keep reading.
Verse 8.
Right.
They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy.
Right, come on.
But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving.
Yeah, see, he said, I'm going to sacrifice unto thee with thanksgiving. Read.
I will pay that I have vowed.
Read that again.
I will pay that I have vowed.
Yeah, see, he vowed. See, it didn't say in Jonah chapter 1, verse 1, that Jonah vowed to the Most High. No, it was already, Jonah been doing the work. He vowed to do this, but there was something that was in him that that made him reluctant to go down to Nineveh. What was it? You wasn't good enough, Jonah? You wasn't pretty enough, Jonah? Your beard wasn't long enough, Jonah? Nah, but you didn't have no fringes on, right? That's what it was? What excuse was it, Jonah? He said, I vowed a vow unto the Most High. Read that last precept.
I will pay that I have vowed.
Right.
So,
go ahead.
Salvation is of the Lord.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to pay that vow that I vowed. Which means that, you know what? Let me suck up what I'm going through right now and let me do what's necessary. And a lot of us got to look at Jonah and see we have to do the same thing. I know when y'all got that truth, you was like, oh, look, Yahweh. Who? Rocket Yahweh for the word. Who? I'm going to be the top priest out there. Ooh, let me get these breakdowns, man. Let me go online. Let me look up ISB HBK. You know what I'm saying? And let me see all the classes so I can be a teacher. Shoot. Get up in class. You see online, you see brothers dropping down precepts on precepts. You're like, oh, Lord. Oh, I can't do that, man. Hold on. Hey, brother, we need you to come out here and do street speaking. Oh, no, I don't think I could be out there like that, man. Oh, I don't think I can read out there on a microphone where everybody hear me.
Where everybody looking at me.
Yeah, everybody's looking at me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I said it's that what is it, validation?
I always been the type, man, that, you know, I just lay in the cut.
Right.
I always been the type of person, man, I ain't looking for no shine.
Right.
But there's a misconception, like, teaching it should not be about shine. It should be about doing the will of the Most High, whether it's street speaking, flyers, whether you're online, whether you're offline, it don't matter. It should be about, okay, I'm doing the will or what the Most High said. But that's a manipulation within that, because, well, I ain't about shine, so I ain't going to do it. It's like, nah, that's not, you can't override the commandments like that.
You can't try to work around. You can't allow your mentality or your false or your lack of ability, your attributes that you think that you don't have to say that I'm not good enough for the truth. That's all it is. It's an excuse. The Most High loves excuses, though.
It's like when you know, now that some of the sisters are working for the business, you know, their confidence on how to actually approach people. You can see from first month till the third month, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna stand here, as opposed to if I keep standing here, I'm not gonna produce anything. So it's really now I got to step outside of myself. Right. And I know we could talk about a lot of different things, and I know it's gonna come out, but you know, one thing they had to put aside was selfishness.
Right.
To say, okay, I gotta stop thinking about myself and do it for others. Same thing with Jonah and all the prophets. Like, I can't think about myself. I got to think about other people, you know. And sometimes that is that's like a propelling you to do what you got to do. You got to have something, right? Like, oh, you know what? This ain't for me. This is for my nation. Let me push through this.
It's motivation.
Yeah, motivation. Yeah.
Right. You know, and right on point. But what I like about this class and just the angle that we're hitting at is showing that the prophets had issues as well. So, you know, when you read the scriptures, we're not reading them as like they're superheroes. Yeah. These are men just like us. Right. And they went through certain situations and feelings and emotions and how they felt about themselves just like we do. So that's why, hold that, go to Romans 15 and 4. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. And just to show that we have to soak up the book, the scroll. We got to eat it. We got to look at the individuals. I remember I used to read the Bible. I'm like, who am I in the Bible? Who am I? How do I, the way that I move, the way that I think, the example that I give off, who am I? Because I don't want to be the Jonah. The guy that, every time we ask this cat, he throwing up excuses. He nowhere to be found. You know, hey, brother, we need you in this state. Oh, bro, shit. Oh, I got to go to Dallas. I'm moving to Dallas, man. You know, I don't want to be that brother. But we have to look in the scriptures and recognize who we want to be and who we don't want to be. And pick up the good attributes and learn from these men. We got to learn from these stories. Read where you at?
Romans 15 and 4.
Come on.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
For whatever things were written aforetime. This Bible was written for our knowledge, understand how these men move, the situations that they had.
Over just a little bit.
Even whenever you deal with
Over.
this one? When you deal with again, self-esteem issues, when you deal with doubt, reluctancy, consistency, these men had it. They had all these different issues and problems with the Most High work through them. And that's what we have to see, is that we need to be in the same arena and understand that we're going to be going through the same process. The Most High is going to work on us. It's about increasing, y'all. Read where you at.
Romans 15:4.
Come on.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime,
Right.
were written for our learning.
For our what?
For our learning.
It's about increasing in knowledge. Not only in book where you just be at the house, but as you see with these men and these women that we go through, it's about to be examples for others. Because the Most High is he's not calling Barack Obama, or I shouldn't say Barack Obama, he's a Hamite anyway. He's not calling, who's one of the multi-stars right now? He ain't calling Gucci Man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he might hit the truth, but still, he's calling people like us, man. Those that didn't think that they were nothing, but we're going to get there. Finish that?
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
And that's what it is, patience. A lot of us don't have patience and growth. That's why we have self-esteem issues. You think that you're going to be a priest Kazakia or a priest Kwatazap or all these elders that you've seen teaching for many of years. How long you been in the truth, priest?
Going on 30 years.
Going on 30 years in the truth. Come on, man. You think you're going to be in this overnight? I'm not saying you can't be in it shorter than 30. But the thing is that it took work. It took time, diligent studying. It took trial and error. A lot of our people think, again, this is the microwave generation. They want things like that. It don't work like that. You want to get that new PlayStation 4? Okay, you might have to do some chores. You might have to work a little bit, get your dough up. It may take a little while.
Right.
But you're going to get it though if you want it. But it's the same thing. That's why the Most High said he gave us the scriptures for our learning. And through patience and what?
And comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Yeah, we might have hope. And the hope is understanding that what we're doing is seen good in the eyes of the Most High and acceptable. Jump back to that Jonah. Go to Jonah 4:1.
Jonah 4 verse 1.
Come on.
But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry.
Yeah, it displeased Jonah. What did displease Jonah? Because Jonah just talked to the people. He just cried to the people, but what displeased him? Jonah, what is it? You think you off? Huh? You think that what you told them wasn't the right thing? Is your self-esteem low, Jonah? You're questioning yourself? You're depressed? What's going on? Read that again.
But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry.
But again, this is 4 and verse 1. If you go back to 3, Jonah's just talking to the people of Nineveh to repent. That's all he's doing. He's teaching. He's giving the words that the Most High gave him. So what's going on to where you're angry now, Jonah? Keep reading.
And he prayed unto the Lord and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my sins when I was yet in my country?
Right.
Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish.
Yeah, so he's just saying like, bro, I've been doing the same thing I've been telling people. But you know, a lot of times, just because people don't seem like they're moving the way that you want them to move, that ain't your job. Your job is just to teach. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do. You might not get that. Oh, good ceremony, brother. Woo! That was a hot one. No, they might be like, Khan, later.
Dealing with Israel, you never get that.
Right.
You're never gonna get a pat on the back like, hey, good job, brother.
Khan.
Because everybody's thinking, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And the ones that ain't thinking that, they're thinking like, whatever.
Right.
That's how they look at things. Like a lot of people in the world. Oh, whatever, I can get the truth anyway.
Right. Not like it's a jewel.
Yeah.
And I know you're fired up about it, so you want other people to be fired up. But it don't work like that. See, but that's the patience that the Most High is trying to give you or to show you, to put within you. But why was Jonah mad? He said, it's the same sin that I said. Read that again, verse 2.
And he prayed unto the Lord and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my sin when I was yet in my country?
Right.
Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish.
Yeah, so he's showing you, was like, these people, man, I've said the same thing in my country, but they didn't want to hear me. That's what he's saying. He have an issue. It could be, again, the response that the people may give him. But Jonah had an issue. But what he should have been recognizing that, go to Colossians 3:23. Because you wouldn't be angry. You would understand. He would understand. We have to understand. We cannot allow ourselves to have our confidence to be drops and to be lack of because of what other people may do or say or look at you as. You don't work like that. If that's the case, you really gonna get your heart broken. I remember I was in class one time, everybody had stone cold Steve Austin faces. I was like, dang. First our teacher, I was like, oh, gee, okay. I'm thinking cats gonna be hype. They gonna be hype.
You thought Israel was going to be welcoming?
I thought, oh man.
You thought they were going to be like, oh man, we get to see a new brother teach.
It was like this right here.
Like, wait, nigga, mess up, say something wrong.
Yeah.
Say something wrong.
I was like, golly. But as Hebrew Israelites, men and women, we have to understand that the things that we do and that, you know, the duties that we take on, the responsibility that we take on, it shouldn't be for the response of others.
Yeah.
Or for the validation, the accolation that you get from people.
Yeah.
It should be towards the Most High. And that's why the scripture says this. Read where you at.
Colossians 3:23.
Come on.
And whatsoever you do it heartily.
Right?
As to the Lord.
Yeah, do it heartedly. Do it with all your might unto the Most High. Because the Most High is the one seeing you. That's why the Most High sent the prophets out, man. The prophets are like, bro, they're not hearing us. They're coming here with that hard face. You know what I'm saying? They come here with that rock face. My words aren't penetrating their medulla, Yahweh. I can't do this anymore.
And that worked on their, going back to the point, that worked on their self-esteem.
Definitely.
Like a lot of people need validation.
Done.
They need validation from something or someone when your only validation got to be righteousness and the Most High. I say righteousness too because somebody's going to always validate that ass.
Right. God.
Somebody's going to look at you and say, that's not right. So you got to know righteousness is, you should be motivated by righteous validation and the Most High, knowing that you're pleasing the Most High, because anything else can veer into, I'm waiting for the trumpet from man.
Yep.
I'm waiting for the pat on the back. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me I'm doing good, when that's not needed. It's not needed. Now, not saying it won't be given, because the scripture, we was talking about that the other day.
Yep.
Like somebody will honor you and say, hey, that brother, that sister, man, they're doing that. But if your mind is geared and motivated by validation of the carnal, usually what happens is the Most High don't do it. He makes your life, it's like all the things that the Most High know that you want, he's like, okay, this person ain't really down for me, so I ain't going to give them that.
Not genuine.
Yeah, it's not genuine, so I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give her that.
Where you at?
Colossians 3:23, last precept. And not unto men.
Yeah. Read that one more time from the top.
And whatsoever you do it heartily, as to the Lord.
You know, and this is a common scripture that we go over in our camp, you know, in our body, is do things wholeheartedly to the Most High. You know, we shouldn't be waiting and, you know, seeing smiles. Nah, it ain't gonna work. You are dooming yourself for failure if that's the case. But that's why a lot of people's confidence level and self-esteem is low. And that's what happened to Jonah. Jonah got caught, man. He got caught up in trying to reciprocate what he was doing by what the people showed him. You dealing with a stiff-necked people, Jonah. I know you don't write the scripts. Come on. Hard-headed. Want to do what they want to do. Keep reading.
And not unto men.
Right, and not unto men. Go back to Jonah. Go back to that Jonah 4. In verse 1 again.
But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry.
Right, he's very angry. Why? Because this keeps happening over and over and over. These niggas. Good God. He didn't know what to do, man. He's about to snap. He's like, man, is it me?
He just didn't want to do it. You see all these different, I like how you're pointing out the characteristics in these humans,
right?
Israelites, is that you can see that You said it perfectly. I'm repeating it, but brothers got to start looking at it like they were all just Yahweh Shai, because they weren't. All these prophets have certain things you're supposed to look at and say, oh, those are values I can take.
Right.
Oh, you know what? That value, when he did that was off. Right? I'm not going to value those things in him because it's negative. It's weakness.
Right. It was and we're going to get to that scripture though, and get to those scriptures, but that was weakness that Jonah showed. Keep reading.
And he prayed unto the Lord and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my sin when I was yet in my country?
Come on.
Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish.
Yeah, Jonah's hilarious, man. Emotional. Read.
For I knew that thou art a gracious power,
Right.
and merciful,
Come on.
slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repentest thee of the evil.
Yeah, he's like, man, listen, I know I ran to Tarshish, but I know you were forgiving God. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me, Lord. I snapped.
That's how you knew he was a brother.
Yeah. Man. Oh, I was reading something the audio Bible. It's hilarious. But yeah, Jonah was like, man, I know you slow to anger, great in kindness, repentance of evil. Read.
Therefore now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me.
Look at Jonah. What's wrong with you, Jonah?
Because the easy way out is just take my life.
Right.
I was praying for that the other day.
Right.
No. You catch yourself saying, you catch yourself saying, damn, it'd be easier if you just took me out. Right?
Yep.
But, he's trying to escape the service, the duty, the will.
Right.
Men escape different ways. Back to the point, now I want to drive into other aspects, but, one of the biggest points is I don't see certain things in myself that can be obtainable to get me to the next point.
Right.
I don't see that. But the Most High is not you. He sees you for what you are. That's why he got to keep reminding you, I called you.
Right.
Right? Well, you called me for what? I'm trash. I know. I know you're trash, but that's why I called you.
I wanted you.
I wanted that.
Got to have you.
Because I'm going to make you do something magnificent. It's gonna shine and it's gonna show forth even that much brighter.
And they call it a diamond in the rough, right?
Right.
Diamond in the rough, or that jewel that's in the dirt. The Most High wanted to clean you off. But these are things that these men in the Bible went through. They had issues, man. They had self-esteem. If it wasn't only just about how other people looked at them, but even themselves. Read.
For it is better for me to die than to live.
Right, he says it's better for me to die. Dang, Jonah, is that deep? You feel that bad? That rough? That weak? Because that's no strength right there. Talking about it's better for me to die. Golly, you ain't trying to strive till death? He's like, man, end it now. Now, Yahweh. Read.
Then said the Lord, doest thou well to be angry? So Jonah went out of the city.
Where you at?
Verse 5. So Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city, and there made him a booth, and sat under it in a shadow, till he might see what will become of the city.
Yeah, and this is, Jonah's just an emotional guy. Like, the Most High did everything for him. And I want to kind of speed through what happened, but, Jonah went to see what happened to the city. He did what he had to do. He was going to see if it was going to get destroyed. Read.
Verse 6.
Right.
And the Lord power prepared a gourd, and made it to come up over Jonah, that it might be a shadow over his head.
Right, the Most High made sure Jonah was good with the shadow, man. Gave him some comfort. But we're just seeing that Jonah is extremely emotional. And has self-esteem and lack of confidence in himself. But we have to see that again. This is the man of the Most High that was still teaching and preaching. So these men had issues. And that's saying that, that Jonah was the pillar, but there was a reason why he was in the book.
Now, another aspect we got to look at is this. You keep saying that Jonah had issues, but the Most High was going to not let him be in the truth or do his will with those issues.
Right.
So he was taking them through the steps to come out of that. And that's a lot of, it's what you were saying earlier. A lot of people don't understand that the path itself is going to purge you of the issues you have. It should be changing you along the way. I mean, they talk about it all the time. You know what I mean? I noticed that me and my ribs, we were watching something, but it was actually Power. And it was right. The growth of his rib and him. And he kept saying, I change. Oh, yeah. Right? And she's saying, I change.
Jamie.
This life should change you.
Right.
But not to the old man, though. I change. You change to be more niggerish? No, you're supposed to be changing and getting better.
Right.
But this is what the path of Jonah was going to do. It was going to change him and lead him eventually to see himself for what he was. That's the work, right?
And we're gonna check out somebody else that thought that they were less than, had self-esteem issues, reluctant to do the will of the Most High, that doubted their own self. A lot of us doubt, man. A lot of us doubt our capabilities, but how would you know unless you put it to the test? We're even scared to put it to the test, man. And that's what it is, man. It's just that it's a feeling we haven't pushed ourselves to the limit sometimes, and that's what we have to do. Push yourself to your limit. When it comes to this truth, whatever that you can do, push it to the limit. See how far you go. See what you gain. Set some goals to get this self-esteem issue or self-esteem problem. Again, the definition of self-esteem: confidence in one's own worth or abilities. We got to see that we're worthy, man. The Most High didn't give you this word for nothing. You're worthy to read it, you're worthy to apply it, and you're worthy to reap the benefits of it. The Most High gave it to you. And these men, as we see, they had to go through some things to understand their worth. They had to go through some situations, and we're going to go into Moses. And see, even Moses himself, not only the stuttering part, that's the common part, but let's see even how Moses, his mentality was about leading his people. He second-guessed with the Most High, like you said. He was leading them. The Most High was always there. So even for us, when it's time to step up, when it's time to make moves, understand the Most High will be there for you. Go to Exodus chapter 3 and verse 13.
And you know what? Could I throw this one in here real quick?
Please.
And I'll read it real quick. Y'all could just write it down. This is Ecclesiasticus 4. Ecclesiasticus 4 and 21. And it says here, for there is a shame that bringeth sin. You see that? There's a shame that bringeth sin, meaning that this shame that he was having, the shame, whatever inconsistencies within himself, that was bringing him to sin and be disobedient against the commandment of the Most High. Yeah. It says, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. That shame is humble before honor. That shame is being bruised and putting yourself through the predicaments that the Most High wanted. And that's the thing with Jonah, is that his shame, like his story is not Moses' story. But the thing is like, you look at him, you're like, bruh, you did all this, and the Most High still dragged you all the way to the end. It still dragged you all the way to the point where you were going to do it anyway. And that's what you see a lot of brothers and sisters. They let their lack of faith, they let their lack of looking at what the Most High is going to give them to do it, to conquer and to achieve your goals. And Jonah, his shame brought forth sin because he was disobedient at the beginning.
Oh, definitely.
Right? That's why the Most High had to do him in the well and throw him in the well and cast him out. And once again, you got to think about that though. Once again, we read this, we look at it like it's a page to page.
Right.
This could have been a process of time. And that's how brothers and sisters are in the work of the Most High. It'd be a process of time. A brother gets whooped, sisters get whooped, then they see, wait a minute, I was getting the right correction, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Let me get my act together. And some be like, Jonah, stubborn as hell. Right. Nah, I'm not going to do it. And then still get whipped. Right? Because the Most High has got to chastise you. Yeah.
Go to, you finished with that, sir?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Go to Romans 14 and 22. Romans chapter 14 and verse 22, just on that point.
Yeah.
Because we have to look at our actions and is this pleasing to the Most High? Your reluctancy, your doubt, your hesitancy, being hesitant to do the things that the Most High is pushing you to do. Is this pleasing in the eyes of the Most High? Mm-hmm. Read where you at.
Mm-hmm. Romans 14 and 22.
Come on.
Hast thou faith?
Read that again.
Hast thou faith?
Hast thou faith? Are we believing that the Most High is not going to lead us astray? Jeremiah 29:11, that his thoughts for us are for peace, of good and expected in and not of evil. Paraphrase. But showing, has thou faith? Read.
Have it to thyself before the Most High.
Have it what?
Have it to thyself before the Most High.
Have it to yourself. Do you know this? You have faith to yourself. That's the question. You shouldn't have. The Most High is showing us that these self-esteem issues, these doubt in yourself issues, that shouldn't be. Because the Most High is here with us. But we have to have faith. More than conquerors, right? We can pull out all the scriptures that people just kind of lightly read. Philippians 4 and 13, right? The Most High is like, I'm giving you everything that you need. Do you have faith? Just to trust. That's really what it's about. It's about trusting. Keep reading.
Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he allowed.
Yeah, when you don't condemn yourself in areas that you think that you lack in, come on, man. Happy is he. You shouldn't be condemning yourself. Why? Because you know that it's growth. I could literally go in a depression and stay in like, oh my God, my teaching is just mediocre. Okay, well if it is, I got to keep trying harder and study more and more audio Bible and more counseling and more talking. Because what else I'm gonna get? Just lay down and die? Please. Not a Hebrew Israelite.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, the ones that come through this with white robes, washed in the blood of Yahweh Shai, they're not going to be quitters. It says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. It's not going to be cast that draw back. It's not going to be cast that's double-minded. It's not going to be cast that they let their own inconsistencies override the will of the Most High. It's not going to be that.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 23.
Yes, sir.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
And he that what?
He that doubteth is damned if he eat.
Let me look up the word doubt. He that doubteth is damned. And as we read these scriptures, we're seeing that the Most High was with these men. So there was no need for them to doubt. They see the works. We see the Most High working in our life. That's why the Most High does things for us, man. You get that, you pray for that woman. Ooh, Lord bless you with a righteous woman. Okay. You pray for that vehicle. You may not have got that Escalade, but you got that Durango. You know what I'm saying? He was there for you. He answered your prayers. So why doubt? The Most High is alive. You see him every day. But the word doubt, it says to waver or to fluctuate in opinion, to hesitate. So you're wavering. And is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing? Right. Should I do this? Should I not do it? I know the Most High wants me to do it, but I feel like this. To waver or to fluctuate in opinion. To hesitate. To be in uncertainty. There shouldn't be uncertainty when dealing with the Most High. There shouldn't be uncertainty when dealing with His Bible or dealing with what you're called to do. Men and women. How to apply this Bible. There shouldn't be no hesitancy. Should I humble to my husband? That shouldn't be a question. Because it's in the scriptures. Should I be meekful and kindness and communicate with my brothers? That shouldn't be a question. But the scripture says, read that again.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
Yeah, he that doubteth. And a lot of times this doubt is fear. A lot of brothers and sisters got fear, man. You got fear of the uncertainty, the unknown. But that's where the Most High wants you at. That's where He loves you at. That's where you grow at. Why? Because all you can do is rely on Him. That's what He wants. That is what the Most High intends for you to do, is to call on His name. A lot of brothers and sisters have fear. But it says that he that doubteth, read,
is damned if he eat.
Come on.
Because he eateth not of faith.
Yeah, you eat not of faith. The Most High wants you to be faithful even in those times where you ain't got no control. See, a lot of people are extremely possessive of themselves. But the Most High wants you to take the wheel, Jesus. Mm-hmm. That's what He wants you to say. Take the wheel, Yahawashi. And step back and just do. Listen and follow. The scripture says, because he eateth not of faith. Read.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Read that again.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
And we have to understand that whenever we start looking at our own selves and start be hesitant about things, dealing with this word, dealing with the Bible, dealing with this truth, we have to understand that anything that is not of faith is sin. The Most High is not with that. He wants you to be submissive and trusting. He got a plan for you, man. I got to get my Joel Osteen on. He wants for you to be in prosperity, brother. Peace. But that's true, though. He wants you to have peace, but it comes through you knowing that the Most High is with you. And that's what we're going to see with Moses. The Most High was right next to Moses, man. Exodus 3 and 13. Let's read that.
Exodus 3 verse 13.
Come on.
And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The power of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name?
Yeah, he already like pre-thinking already. Like, why are you thinking so much? He already, conjuring up in his mind the excuses or the response, what these people are going to say. But as we see is that Moses wasn't confident, man. He wasn't confident in himself. Even though he grew up in Pharaoh's house. But now he had to deal with some real niggas. Some real Negroes, Hebrews. His people, man, which are stubborn. He was like, man, these people is rough. Golly. But read that again, that last precept.
That's real. That is real.
When I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them,
right?
The power of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name?
Come on.
What shall I say unto them?
Read.
And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Right?
And he said,
just showing that the Most High was there. Listen, if they say this to me, what should I say? I am that I am. Tell them that. I'm here with you. I ain't going to leave you lonely. I'm not going to leave you comfortless. Moses was freaking out a little bit. Oh, God. Hold on. What should I say, man? I need you. Read.
And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. And the Most High said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, The Lord power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all generations.
Yeah, the Most High was right there with Moses, giving him the step by step to tell the people. Think about it. It's the Creator. Sending his messenger. Oh, you're gonna know exactly what to say. It's like you got the script in front of you. The Most High said He'll give you the words in your mouth to tell the people. Where you at?
Verse 16.
Exodus chapter 3 and verse 16. Read.
Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, The Lord power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt.
4:15. I'll put my words.
Verse 17.
Oh, you got it.
And I have said, I will bring you out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites.
Yeah, and I went that part just to show that Moses always had the Most High with him. Y'all got to see this. But we're going to go in deeper to see how Moses was still having self-esteem issues. Like, man, hold on, man. I'm not the guy. I'm not that guy that can tell the people this, man. He started to get scared and fearful. Started to get reluctant. Am I that guy? I know I did what I did in Egypt and I was a general. But now I'm coming out here. I'm feeling a little weary. I had a spokesman when I was in Egypt. I didn't have to talk to the people directly. I let my officers talk to them. Now I gotta talk to them? Oh, hold on. It's levels, man. This man was already established. He was a leader. But he still had little small problems, little self-esteem issues, confidence issues. In his own work, in his own worth. He thought that his offsets, or he thought that his what do you want to say? Speaking impediments, as we're going to go into it, was going to throw off what he was saying. Come on, man. I'll be up there. You better listen. Be up there strong. I got the Most High on my side too. Shoot, I wouldn't have no issue. We shouldn't have no issue. The Most High is next to us. Exodus 4:1.
Exodus 4 verse 1.
Just showing how Moses, he started to doubt. He started to get reluctant. Read.
And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice.
Hey, look at that. So think about this. Moses just went through the whole script with the messenger, right? With the angel. Put him on game. Tell him exactly what to say. What did he say?
But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice.
Bro, Moses, you thinking too much, huh? Just say it. He over here, they won't listen to me, man. Like, why should I even say that?
A lot of the times the work is this what we're doing after many years. You got to realize that it's really about the work of the Most High.
Come on.
It's and that being said, it's exactly what he said, that, and I don't want to sound like he's saying be robotic, because it's not saying that. But it's almost like you got to just go do your job. You know, yes, we still have compassion and love for our nation and things like that. There still has to be a connection so you can be compassionate to your people. But there's also I'm going to go and do my job and not worry about what is said, how they look,
right,
how they act, or how many show up,
how they respond to what I say.
Yeah, how they respond. I can't do that. I got to just do it. And that's what he was telling them here. Just do it.
Because even you think about Christ, they said a multitude came and a multitude left. That's Yahweh Shai. You know Yahweh Shai was dropping bars.
Yeah.
He was dropping that guacamole on them, man. Getting fed. Shoot.
Yep.
It wasn't nobody saying that except the disciples, you know. But think how much, you know, when it comes to us. Don't be offended. Don't let it chip away to your confidence or of your confidence. Again, we shouldn't be looking at people. And we're seeing that in the scriptures, dealing with Moses and these other patriarchs that we're going to go through. Continue to read.
For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee.
Right.
And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod.
So it was like, all right, man, I hear you, Moses. Think about it. Moses just complained about them not listening to him just off of him speaking. All right, Moses, we got you. Let's try something else. All right. Let's try something else to gain your confidence and know that we just need you to do what you got to do, man. Let me show you something else. Let me give you something. Let me give you a gift, baby. Okay, listen, you don't know breakdowns. We're going to give you the breakdowns. You don't know scriptures. Come to drilling, and we're going to teach you how to drill. And we're going to equip you with what's necessary for you to do what you got to do in confidence. Let me do that for you.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Right.
The Most High has been here for everybody. And he shows us that he's been with us. He's showing Moses. And you can think back in your life where the Most High is there continually being there with you and supporting you and encouraging you. And a lot of times it's from a brother. It's from a sister. If you're in a body, it's the people in the body, the strength of the body, the events that you have. But a lot of times we take it for granted. We don't remember. We're a forgetful hearer, forgetful seer, you know, but we can't do that. But here, Moses is being doubtful, but the Most High is still there. Listen, okay, man, I got something else for you. If they ain't going to believe that, they definitely going to believe this. They're going to believe this miracle. They're going to believe what I showed them. But all that was to do was to increase his confidence, to increase his self-esteem and know that the Most High is with you. Read.
Verse 3.
Come on.
And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground.
Right.
And it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it.
Come on, man. Moses out here doing tricks on them boys. dropping the rod and it became a serpent. How much more? Look at Moses scared. Like, you a general, Moses. You are war ready and you jumping from a snake? Read.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take him by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it. And it became a rod in his hand.
Woo, powerful. Moses out here doing, and I'm not going to say he was doing miracles. The Most High allowed him to do a miracle with the rod in his hand to speak to the people, for them to be amazed, since Moses' self-esteem was so low. Since he didn't believe in his own self or believe what he believed what the Most High was saying, but he didn't believe that he was going to be the force to where the people heard him, man. He didn't think that the message that came out of his mouth was going to be potent enough to gain the hearts of the people. But the Most High chose him, and he was working with them, just like he works with us. Keep reading.
Verse 5.
Right.
That they may believe in the Lord power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob.
Because the Most High worked through all those men. He worked and excelled through all those men. Abraham was teaching the Egyptians. He was teaching down in Mesopotamia. This man had knowledge, man. All people got knowledge. What did they have to do? Apply themselves. What did Jacob have to do? Wrestle with the angel. He applied himself. He didn't give up. No surrender. Or to say, no weakness. He wasn't reluctant on what the Most High gave him. We can't be reluctant on the gift and the skills that he's putting within us. Keep reading.
Hath appeared unto thee.
Right.
Verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore to him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
Now you about to listen. I'm about to show you another one. I got you, Moses. Don't worry. Have faith in me. Trust in me. He was gassing Moses up, man. Think about that. You know how we gas people up at the mall? Ooh, this right here. Ooh, throw that oil on you. Woo! You know what I'm saying? You dropping precepts on brothers. Listen, man. You drop this on your family. Do it like this. Be a little patient. Be a little meek. They gonna get that. They gonna hear that. If not, it's okay. That's the same thing. The Most High was gassing up Moses to show him, I'm with you, man.
To boost his confidence.
Yeah, boost his self-esteem. There's nothing to worry about. Stop doubting. Stop being wavery. You got the juice. Use it. Read.
And he put his hand into his bosom.
Come on.
And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Yeah, his hand was leprous as snow. Read.
And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again.
Right.
And plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as other flesh.
And you got to see that a lot of times we read these scriptures about, just on the color, color scriptures, but we don't see where this was coming from. It was coming from the lack of Moses' confidence in himself. The Most High was trying to show him, listen, I'm giving you all these things, all these ways to convince the people to give you confidence, man. You don't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about it.
Most High is moving on two zones. He's moving on the nations,
right?
Showing them his power, but then showing Moses like no reason to have to doubt. That's dope.
I'm showing you all ways. I got you, Moses. Mashaba, I got you.
Masha.
Masha is
Ba is number 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Masha, read.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first time,
right,
that they will believe the voice of the latter time.
Look at that. He said, look, they may not hear you the first time, but keep on going. Keep pushing. Don't give up. Don't be down on yourself. You can do it. Read.
Verse 9. And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not believe all these 2 signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river,
come on, man,
and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
We're going to do 3 of them. There's one scripture that says, I think it said Jacob came into the river, the waters moved. Oh, man. I'll find that. It's dope how it was worded. But just showing that, here goes another miracle that you can show the people, man. Keep reading.
Verse 10. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent.
Oh, here we go again. Dang, Moses, now you still second guessing? You still doubtful? You still got self-esteem issues? I'm not eloquent. Come on, how many more excuses you got, man? How much more do I got to do for you to show you? But that's the beautiful thing about the Most High. It don't matter how many excuses you come with, he got you. Because you know why? He want you. He wanted Moses, and he want those, man. So he wants you all y'all on online land, YouTube land. The Most High wants you. That's why you're watching right now. But have that confidence to make them moves. Have that confidence to do what your spirit is telling you to do, man. When it comes to doing this work. How, you know what, man, I can make it out there to that Passover. You know what? Let me just do it. Rather than like, oh, no, you know what, man? Nah, it's probably a little bit too far for the family to roll. You know what? Nah, man. The Most High will make a way as we see. He'll make that passage safe. Or any type of other moves that you want to make. Oh, you know what? I want to get closer to the body. You know what? Let me go ahead and switch up this, rearrange that. Let me roll on faith. Let me let the Most High know I'm about this, man. I'm about you and your work and your people. That's what the Most High want. As you see, all the excuses that Moses gave, the Most High was sending what do you call him? He was sending him reassurance, man.
Right.
He was sending him comfort. He was reassuring him that, okay, that's a doubt, but I'm going to reassure you with this sign right here. I'm going to reassure you with this individual to help you speak.
Right. Could I get one?
Please.
Matthew 19, 26. There's the other one too. Where is it? Yeah, Matthew 19, 26. Oh. Throw that in there. Because I already see you ain't going to be able to get out all your scriptures. Go ahead and read that.
Matthew 19, 26.
Yeah.
But how Shai beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible. But with the Most High all things are possible.
But with the Most High all things are possible. And that's the confidence a lot of times we don't have. You know, and it's because we sin. It's because we got demons on us. It's because we got negative in us. And we start to look at our sins and let those sins wear you down. Right. And you start to say, dang, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of what the Most High is supposed, you know, everything he offers, why would he give it to me? I'm not worthy. That's not up to you. It's up to you to do his will. It's up to you to have confidence and have faith like he said. Read it again.
But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible.
With the Most High all things are possible. The Most High, you got it in there, the basings?
Yes, sir.
Corinthians?
Yes.
Can we jump? Or you want to wait?
No, we can definitely jump.
You sure?
Yeah, I got some.
All right, jump over there. 1 Corinthians real quick.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 26.
Yeah. And this is what you're thinking. You're thinking like, damn, I'm the base of the earth. How is it possible? Right? But read that.
1 Corinthians 1 verse 26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty.
Yeah, basically the Most High is capping on you.
Very much so. He know who you be.
He knows you're not that wise. He knows you're not smart.
Right.
Not spiritually. Yeah, you might be street smart.
Right.
Yeah, you might be knowing how to change that oil in the car and get a new whip and run game on women. But the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. He knows you ain't smart. Right? So he knows what he's choosing. Go ahead.
Not many noble are called.
Yeah, you're not sitting up in there with Condoleezza Rice and
right.
George Bush and Trump and
right.
The last president, whatever, Obama. You're not the noble.
Right.
You're not the one. You're the ex-thug. You're the guy that used to have his ass hanging out when he wore his pants.
Yep.
And they were hanging out. Then you had an extra pair of shorts under there. I don't get it, but that's what you did.
With a black and mild in the ear.
Yeah, with a black and mild. He knows that. Go ahead.
Verse 27. But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world.
Yeah, he chose you. The Most High is calling us foolish. I see you niggas. You're the fools. You foolish niggas.
Yeah.
I see you.
Those simple niggas.
You simple Negroes.
Simples.
But he chose us. Go ahead.
To confound the wise.
To confound the wise, because the change was supposed to take hold, and he's going to show you all the good qualities that's really in you, what your spirit was created for. Yep. But he had to bring all those things back to your remembrance. Right? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't put it in.
Right, but he had to bring all those things back to your remembrance of who you really are. You know, you got amnesia.
Yeah, bad case.
You got amnesia. When you woke up, you thought what's that, Trading Places? I don't know if you've seen it. It's an old school movie with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, right.
Right.
Everybody banker?
Yeah. It's like Trading Places. You got amnesia, man. You woke up, you think you're a bum.
Right.
You think you're a loser. You think you're a thug. But no, you're the kings and priests of the earth. But he's got to encourage you. He is encouraging you to push yourself and to be that. Go ahead.
Right. You can finish that scripture.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Verse 27. And the Most High chosen the weak things of the world.
Oh, right. There you go. The weak things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The weak things.
Because a lot of spiritual and physical elements that we have is weak.
Yeah.
You know, but the Most High wanted that.
And you know how when I always go over these scriptures, I always remind us to remind yourself that that's exactly what you are.
Yeah.
The problem is you kicking against the pricks. You trying to act like you was somebody.
Right.
The Bible's already telling us, man, you was a foolish nobody nigga.
Right.
I don't care what you did and what you thought you was. When it came to the Most High, you was nothing. You had nothing. Your life was nothing. Until you met him, you are somebody.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High. You weren't living, man.
Yeah.
You was living in the Matrix. You thought you was living. Bro, you was just like these simpletons out here. Whenever you have the truth and now you see them getting pulled by the wife, that was you. Whenever you out here, your children's ruling over you, that was you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Whenever your job made you, like I went to get the tag for the car. I couldn't believe this. She was actually an Islamic woman, right? Judah, Israelite, but you got a little. I'm reading the Quran. All right, sis. Well, okay, I'm gonna give you a flyer one day. But she made a statement. She was like, I was like, you out here working? She was like, yep, I'm just trying to make my keep, or I'm trying to stay my keep. Whatever, you know how they say it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to do my keep. Like that's life. Like working for somebody else, trying to keep your keep. Or keep your stay?
Yeah.
You're just trying to keep that.
Trying to survive, man.
That was us.
Just trying to survive. The foolish things of the world, man. And our only goal was those carnal things. Y'all know the story.
Yeah,
right. Go ahead.
To confound the things which are mighty.
Yeah, to confound these things that are mighty, that so-called prestige and scientists and doctors and lawyers and scholars. Yep. You know, we're those little Yahweh Shais at 12-year-old being able to confound the mouth of these fools because you submitted to the Most High, His will, His work. Yeah.
Keep reading.
Mm-hmm. Verse 28. And base things of the world.
And that was the point. Yep. That you have to realize your base.
Yeah.
You have to realize we had to realize and we have to realize that we're the base. Like, stop trying to fool yourself.
Yeah, like you really weren't living with a purpose.
Yeah.
And the purpose that you may have been living for was for yourself. Mm-hmm. But when you look at a lot of great leaders and a lot of great pioneers and individuals in the world, they live for others. When you look at, there's a lot of guys like I'll never forget this, but his name was Patrice Lumumba out of Congo. Yeah, he was a Hamite. And he could be Israelite. But this man lived for other people. He died by trying to fight for his people, not getting taxed by the U.S., the British, the French coming into his world. He wasn't living for himself. That was the true purpose. When you start to live for other people, like we put out in last class, look on the things of others rather than your own self, that's purpose. That's living. You was just an average Joe Schmo trying to pay your rent, your mortgage, your car note, your groceries, my vacation. Okay, I've seen the movies. But when you have true purpose, the Most High said He chose the base things, man. Because why? You was that person living that garbage life. But what was the Most High going to do? Read.
And things which are despised.
Yeah, the base things of the world and things that are despised. Read.
And the Most High chosen.
Why though? You got to think about what the Most High was doing. It's beautiful when you sit back and look. He wanted to show the world that those things that you despise, that you thought was nothing, those individuals that you fed crack to, those individuals that you talked down to and abused mentally and physically, those that you robbed and stole from, that you thought that would never come up, those that you falsely accused and lied against, that you thought that wasn't going to be anything, what did he do?
Have the Most High chosen?
Yeah, the Most High chose you to do what? Read.
Yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
Yeah, to bring to naught the things that are through what? The knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. To show in their face that the Most High is using the base things to confound the wise, man. But how did he do this, though? And that goes down to a further process. But the Most High was choosing base things. You're not going to automatically be twinkled. Not in this life. You weren't going to be twinkled. You had to be quickened. You had to be made alive. You had to be shown the word. You had to be cleaned up. And that's what a lot of these prophets and individuals in the Bible that we read about, they had to be cleaned up and quickened, man. You think Moses was the leader that he was just like this? No, he was groomed. But a lot of people don't want to be groomed though. They think that you can just stay at home and that's it. No, you got to be groomed. You got to go through the training process.
You got to fight through that low self-esteem.
Yes.
To be these kings and priests of the earth. You got to start believing in yourself and stop telling yourself that because you're told you're wrong, that means you got to stay wrong. That's a sickness.
Oh yeah.
You got to understand that the whole point of the Bible telling us we're wrong is for us to know and not have an excuse what to do that's right.
Oh yeah. You know, and the thing about it is there's just standards. There's standards.
Yeah.
The Most High has standards, man. And a lot of our standards are not his standards. That's why he wants to increase you. But you got to step up. You got to grow. It's called growing pains. Everybody wants things easy. We want things easy. It's human nature. But those that succeed, they understand that they have to go through some things that's going to be a little rough. But there's growth in the end. And as we see, Moses was going through that, but Moses had help through the Most High. Jump back to that Exodus real quick. Jump back to that Exodus and verse 10, 4 and 10.
And Moses said unto the Lord,
right?
Oh my Lord, I am not eloquent.
Yeah, this is a weak nature of Moses right now. I can't speak, God. Like, bro, you've been speaking. Like, what you talking about? You've been eloquent. You've been talking, but okay, I got you, bro. There's no escaping what you have to do, Moses. I got you. Don't worry about it. Read.
Neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I have...
Read that one more time. It was a little rough.
Neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant,
right?
But I am slow of speech.
He's what?
I am slow of speech.
Oh, here we go, Moses. Slow of speech and what?
And of a slow tongue.
Oh, here we go. So now he's looking at himself. He's conscientious about himself. I speak slow now. I speak slow. Like because I can say Barry. Now you got issues, huh? What did the Most High do for him? What does he do for us at all the times?
Right.
All the times. Oh, you can't get a car? Oh, you're going to find a way. Listen, do this, do that. It's going to come through in faith. You need an apartment? Listen, roll in faith. You're doing the will of the Most High got you. Sign that lease.
You know, look at the examples we got to use, though. We got to
base things. Base things.
Every time when we talk about things, it ain't like, yeah, you got to take over this universe, take over this world,
right?
Take over this. It's like we got to, the examples that got to be used is, yeah, you go get that car. It's like, really, your mind be so in an array because the lack of all the things that Yahweh was going to already bless you. He was already going to give you. He already, like he said, man, he give it to the heathens, to the wicked. He said he rained on the just and the unjust. You don't think he's going to do that much more for the righteous, for the ones doing his will, his service? So just look at the examples we always use. Job, women, house. Why? Because that's exactly how you see success in yourself. You see the success the way the white man told you it was going to be. And those were that self-esteem breaks down because you don't have those things a lot of time. Now we're reading about Moses. It was a little bit different. He had good qualities. Moses' low self-esteem came from him being humble. It said he was the meekest man on earth. So he was humble, but he was being too bashful.
Right.
He was being too bashful, so the Most High had to check him.
It's a scripture, right?
Yeah. It's in Ecclesiasticus. Yep.
Finish reading.
Verse 11. And the Lord said to him, who hath made man's mouth?
Right. Most I was like, bro, I made your mouth, man. I got you. Nothing to worry. Read.
Or who maketh thee dumb or deaf?
Right. And the reason why I'm finishing this out, just showing that the Most High was always there. With whatever excuse a servant of his gave, the Most High comforted with support, with reassurance, to increase that confidence, man. That's what we all want. We all want to have love, man. Think about your partner, your wife, your husband. Confidence. You want to know that your partner is there for you, man. Reassurance that you got a pillar of rest next to you. We all want it. But the Most High wants reassurance from you as well. That you're doing what you're supposed to do in confidence, man. Mm-hmm. And not allowing self-esteem and reluctancy and doubt to seep in. To where it's like now this like this what do they call it? You're unpredictable. We don't know what you're gonna do. You may spaz out one day, like Jonah did, just took off and ran. Are you gonna be a Jonah? Or are you gonna be this strength? Keep reading.
Or who maketh the dumb or deaf? Or the seeing or the blind.
Right, so most I was just checking him like, man, who does all this? I do it. Your speech is not an issue, bro. Come on.
Yeah, usually it's once again, we don't think that the Most High can do things through us. So he got to remind you of all the carnal things that he does in life. And remind you that he can use anybody, anything. So yes, I can use you. You know what I mean? There's a brother that I talk to all the time. He says, I say, bro, you can do it. Man, you can do this. He says, nah, I'm just, he doesn't know how to read well. And I said, well, you can learn how to read. And the first response is doubt. Well, I ain't read bruh, unless you're retarded, you're sipping out a remote control box that helps you move around.
Dang,
like
wheelchair?
Yeah, wheelchair. Like, and you got all your limbs and your mind and your body is still functioning for the most part. You can learn how to read. So there's no excuse. Brothers and sisters gotta stop this. You're just comfortable. You're comfortable with your low self. You're not moving any direction but what the white man told you. And anybody else that's pushing you in another direction, I know it's not comfortable. But these are the things we got to do to be the kings and priests of the earth. We have to fight. We have to strive. We have to battle. And we're going to be able to conquer. Right? Can I get that one though? What's that, Romans? Go to Romans real quick. You was like, nah. Go to, is it Romans or Hebrews?
Romans 8:37.
Go there. Romans 8:37. Oh my God.
Romans 8 verse 37. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
We're more than what?
More than conquerors.
Yeah, we're more than conquerors. And a lot of times, jump up to verse 35.
35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach?
Right. Now, we read this. You read this, but how many of y'all are quick for every little thing to separate you from the love? Why? Because you construed and you made it easy in your mind why the will don't need to be done the way that it needs to be done. You slide your way out of your true purpose. Right, because there could be an easier way up. It don't really necessarily have to be that way. I think you're making it overcomplicated. I'm sure that it's like, just do it. But it comes back to faith, believing, understanding that you're called, understanding that the Most High believes in you. You are put here for a reason. All these things. Go ahead.
Shall tribulation.
Shall what?
Tribulation.
And let's be real. That's the first and foremost. This is the first and foremost reason why a lot of brothers lose that esteem forward in the mind. Tribulation. They're going through some battles. They're going through some trial. And they can't see themselves passing that trial. It can't stop you. It shouldn't stop you. It's not, it won't stop you unless you stop. You got to keep the momentum. What do they say about a moving force? There's a saying about I forgot the saying when a force is constantly moving forward. It's like a little scientific saying. But the point is that when you're in motion, and you're moving at this consistent pace with power, you won't be stopped. It's only when you doubt yourself, when you become double-minded, when you start losing faith and confidence. So the Most High already said he hasn't given you nothing you can't handle. So why is it tribulation stopping you? Because your low self-esteem has overridden the code of the Bible. Go ahead.
Or distress.
Or what?
Or distress.
Yeah, you're in some type of distress or anguish or suffering or pain. And guess what? Your pain is worse than anybody else's pain is suffering. And your distress is so different than everybody else's distress. And nobody understands you. And nobody gets you. And nobody can relate. That's not what the scripture said. The scripture say, everything we go through is common to man. But you once again overridden the code of the Bible and said, nah, you just don't understand. That works on you, but not on people that believe in fighting, believe in conquering, believe in taking over, that believes in the word. You got to start believing. Go ahead.
Or persecution.
Right? Persecution, go ahead.
Or famine.
Right? And once again, bodily things and things around you in life that wear you down. Go ahead.
Or nakedness.
Read.
Or peril.
Right? Read.
Or sword.
Right?
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Yeah, but are you taking joy in that? Are you saying this is the will of the Most High? Are you saying this is the purpose of the Most High? A lot of people ask, well, how did you make it so long? Right here. No excuse. No excuse. Keeping consistent, moving forward. Go ahead.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Right. No excuse. You already know what you're called for. Go ahead.
Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
And that's the point. Instead of saying, nah, you know what? I'm just asleep. I'm just a sheep for the slaughter. I'm terrible. I'm garbage. I'm a garbage nigga. I'm a garbage woman. You know what? There's no way I could do it. Why don't you say we're more than conquerors? I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to achieve it. Go ahead.
Go to, just with that, because I just want to kill a concept, the mentality.
Yeah.
Go to Ezekiel 16:6. Because we all know it, you know, and this is where your excuse has to be. You got to end your excuse, man. The Most High know who you are. The Most High knows where you came from. It's not an excuse. Because he knows he got you from the worst areas in the of the world. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. He know where he got you from. Read where you at.
Ezekiel 16 verse 6.
Right.
When I passed by thee.
When he did what?
And when I passed by thee.
Yeah, when he saw you out there gang banging, putting up Pyroot, Click, Crip, G45, all that stuff. He knew who you were. Because we got gang bangers, ex-gang bangers in the truth.
No, we don't.
Refined. refined. We have to be fine, you know. In that, you know, but showing that the Most High knew who you were. That's the old you. Read.
And saw thee polluted in thy own blood.
Yeah, you were polluted in your own filth, in your own wickedness, in the things that you were doing. Read.
I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood.
Yeah, when you were in your blood, in your worst part of your life, he said what?
Live.
He did what?
Live.
Wake up. Grow. Succeed. Live. That's no longer you. This is the new brand you. This individual that's striving for that confidence level, to working on his inner self. That's what builds confidence, when you work on something and continue to grow and keep going forward and forward and forward. Read.
Yea, I said unto thee,
right?
When thou wast in thy blood, live.
Come on. How many more scriptures you got to go to? When you were in your blood, live. Romans 4:17. Romans chapter 4 and verse 17. The Most High knew that you weren't capable of what he wanted right then and there. We're not capable. We may have not been capable at that time of our calling, but the Most High wants us to grow. Why do you think you went to high school for? For you to learn. Why do you think you went to college? To learn. Why do you think the Most High gave you this truth? To learn, brothers and sisters, and grow. And to be better than who you were. To gain knowledge and apply it in your life. Read where you at.
Romans 4:17.
Come on.
As it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations.
Right.
Before him whom he believed.
Read.
Even the Most High who quickeneth the dead.
He did what?
Quickeneth the dead.
The Most High quickened the dead. When you understand the word quicken, the definition means to make alive. We were dead in the world. We were nobody to the Most High. We were nobody, because now look at yourself. Now you're in the truth, looking at everybody else as if they're nothing. And what I mean is that their status, their stature, their money, the houses is nothing. Now you got Mayweather saying the Jews is black. Oh, he on a different level now. Mayweather's talking to the Jews is black. Oh, I can't wait to see where that goes to. But the Most High said we were dead, but he made us alive. Read.
And calleth those things which be not as though they were.
Come on. He called those that were not as though they were. What does that mean? The Most High had a purpose for you, man. Those things that were not as though they were. The Most High wants you to live, to grow, to do better. That old weak nature, that old weak self-esteem, you got to let it go. 2nd Ezra 14 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
That mentality, there's no growth in that. That's why when you look at a lot of business owners, and I'm going to go the carnal route. A carnal example, business owners and individuals that do things for themselves. You know what it took for them? It took for them to step out of their comfort zone and to trust in their own selves. That's the world. But how much more knowing the Creator is on our side and we're jumping out on his boat and knowing that we're going to be afloat. We ain't got to have no gasoline. We good. The Most High got us. I know we're going on this journey for him. He going to make sure we're good. But it just shows you how carnally those that step out and do their own, they can succeed if they put the work behind it. How much more yourself? But one thing that you first have to do is read where you at.
2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts.
Yeah, let go of those mortal thoughts. Those insecure thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Those low self-esteem thoughts. That's not of the Most High. The Most High don't deal with that. He wants strong, confident individuals so that they can raise up others. Be examples for other women. He wants strong sisters, man. This ain't only to the brothers. He wants strong sisters so you can teach your children. The little girls, the little boys. Be examples out there to them little Tatianas out there. Oh my God, the epidemic makes me want to throw up. Every time I go on Instagram. Twerk, 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 twerk. For real? Like, you think that's gold? Your body is gold? No. Number one, I see. Don't even start.
Right.
But still, that ain't gold. The Most High wants us to be an example. But first, we have to let go of those mortal thoughts. Read.
Cast away the burdens of man.
And the burdens of man is pity, man. It's pity, anxiety, shame. That has to be gone. Those burdens that we try to hold on to and make it seem like it's reality, it's not a reality, man. That's holding our people and ourselves back. Why do you think we're still here? Like you said last pass, we got 144,000 people that know the truth already, definitely. But is there 144,000 sealed the elect? Obviously, we're still here putting in this truth. That means that you got to be sealed. And what does that mean? To have faith and trust in the Most High. To believe with your all. To give up. That's why I said it's hardly for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. He ain't willing to give up and follow. He's not willing to let go of what he thinks is gold or what he thinks is good. He's not willing to listen and let go of, again, the materialistic things, the mentality that he has. He don't want to do that. He don't want to submit and understand that the Most High has something better than his little bank job or better than his little whatever job that you may have. The Most High said, let go of the burden of men. Read.
Put off now the weak nature.
Yeah, put off the weak nature. Because the Most High has something better for you in store. And that's why he has you around individuals. Why he has you around righteous brothers and sisters. Not just individuals. He has you around a body of people. If you're looking online and you're by in your city by yourself, you got our numbers. You see us. If you're in the cities that we're at, you see us. We're here. We're supposed to feed off each other. We're supposed to grow. 1 Corinthians 12 and 23. But there's a process though. You can't do this alone. You cannot be able to grow and to apply certain scriptures and patience and long suffering by yourself. The Most High wants you around. That's why he called you out of that world into his world. The word of Israel. The word of Israel. Read where you at.
1 Corinthians 12 and 23.
Right?
And those members of the body, which we think to be less honorable.
Yeah, and a lot of times we think that other people are less honorable. Why? Because they may have a speaking problem. They may have a intellectual issue, or whatever small, minute problem that just has to. They're not able to break down the scripture the proper way. Okay, well let's practice on it.
They can get there.
Yes.
They can get to that level. So the point of the scripture is, read on.
Upon these we bestow more abundant honor.
So now you get more attention.
Right.
You get more attention, and that's why a lot of y'all don't like it, but it's called correction. You get more attention now. Damn, why is the flashlight on me? Because you got to get more attention now.
Right.
Because you need more help. You got more problems.
Right. Just like we went through a couple. Moses, we didn't hit Jeremiah, we didn't hit Sarah, but Moses had more attention put on him. I got you, Moses. We about to do the rod. We about to do the water. We about to have Aaron speak for you. He was there for you. When you're around the body, you get more attention to do what? To grow. The Most High got you. And that's the beauty of a body. So for all those that said I don't need to be around a body, okay. The scriptures say you do. The scripture says that's how you learn and grow and be more assured in what you do. Read.
And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness.
Yeah, man. The uncomely parts, the areas that you think that is not on point. Listen, the Most High said, I'm going to make sure that's going to be on point. I'm going to allow you to learn from the greats. I'm going to allow you to learn from diligent brothers and sisters. Those that have been tried and have gone through things that you can learn from. So there shouldn't be no reason for you to be second guessing or reluctant or doubting. He's given us everything. That's why there is no excuse. Read.
24.
Right.
For our comely parts have no need.
Right.
But the Most High have tempered the body together.
Yeah, it says the comely parts. See, that means that it's just showing that those that have the skills and that are teaching and doing things, they don't really have that direct attention that needs to be given to them. That's going to be sent to those that are uncomely. Read.
Having given more abundant honor to that part which lacks.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. The area that you think that lacks in you, the Most High is going to make sure it's increased.
Damn. Yeah. He's going to give you what you need, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Because he promised you.
He wants you. He wants you to be the best of the best. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop having this Edomite mentality. Esau done spanked you so much you think that you really a nigga and you're nothing. That you a gangster that sold crack and that's it. No, we got more. Use those skills and let's win some souls for Christ. All that slick pimp talking you talking about, switch it over, get it biblical, and let's save some souls.
That's right.
The Most High wants to use you in the areas that you think you lack. The Most High got it covered. Finish.
25. That there should be no schism in the body.
That's it. Jump to Galatians chapter 4 and verse 2. You start at verse 1. Galatians 4 and 1. Got just a couple more.
Galatians 4 and 1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child.
Yeah, as the heir, as long as he is a child, willing to learn. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to hear?
Right.
Because the Most High, he don't deal with stubbornness. He know you got a willing heart. He know you want to try, but the Most High is like, okay, listen, I got you, Moses. You willing to hear what I got to tell you? You willing to do what I'm going to tell you to do? Listen, pick up the rod, Pick up the rod, drop it down, snake. Okay, grab it by his tail now, big bro. You got it. The Most High is saying, as long as you, as the heir, that's beautiful. Read that again.
Now I say that the heir.
The heir to what? The heir to what? The Most High already has you ordained to get the kingdom, to get the prizes, the goals. But you have to do something. The Most High says he's not slack to do, how's the scripture go? He's not slack to,
which one? Moses is not slack concerning,
right.
Let me find it. Go ahead.
My brain's winning.
Go ahead.
But yeah, the Most High is willing to give you everything. He says the heir. I love it. He speak that right there is law of attraction. He's speaking into existence. But he says as long as the heir does what? Read.
As long as he is a child.
As long as he is a child, humble and willing to listen. Come. Read.
Differeth nothing from a servant.
Right.
Though he be Lord of all.
Yeah, differeth nothing from a servant, man. But just showing that this individual has to be humble. Read.
But it's under tutors and governors.
He's under what?
Tutors and governors.
See, the Most High has everything worked out. You can't say that I'm not good enough. You can't say that I don't feel like I'm at this level of speaking. I'm not there. Okay, the Most High has you under tutors and governors that show you and to teach you.
I'm not good enough.
Right.
I can't do it.
I can't make it there.
Right.
Yes, you can. Counsel. The scripture says in a multitude of counsel there's safety. You can't counsel with yourself. Stop that. Don't play them games.
They are counseling. Those spirits.
God. God.
I'm just messing with
God. But it says do what? Verse 2?
But it's under tutors and governors.
See, but under tutors and governors. Read.
Until the time appointed of the Father.
Go ahead. My fault.
Until the time appointed of the Father.
Until the time appointed of the Father. A lot of times we be trying to run so fast and we think that we're going to be there, like I said at the beginning of the class. We see these great teachers on YouTube, High Priest Shia on their street speaking, dropping this lovely knowledge of history. What you think he learned that in a week? A month, 2 months, a year, 3 years, 4 years? The brother was diligent. Mashah, all these pioneers, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. You think that they learned what the Most High wanted them to do and how he wanted them to do it overnight? No. They were under tutors. Elisha and Ezekiel, or Elisha and Elijah. He was under a tutor to show him the way. But we have to be humble enough to understand that your excuse is not an excuse to the Most High. He wants you to do better. And that's why he says you are under tutors and governors until the appointed time. Ecclesiastes 7 and 29. And that's why the Most High has always set up comfort zones, not comfort zones, but he's set up helps around us. He set up ways to get out of our insecurities. He knows because you're a man, you're a woman, you're mortal. But those thoughts have to be cast away because he has all the cheat sheets for you. He got the cheat codes. You just got to use it. You have to use it. You can't second guess this work. You can't second guess your calling. You know what it is, sister, brother. Read where you at.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 29. Fear the Lord with all thy soul.
Right?
And reverence his priests.
You have to. Reverence how? By looking at what they did to get where they were at. In the scriptures, in person, reverence the priests. Understand how they got there. What it took for them to get their eloquentness, to be able to speak the way they speak. Brother, how do you remember scriptures like that? Let the priest tell you. Reverence him. How does your patience and long suffering make you last through the truth over 30 years? How are you able to see the world and not want the things of the world, but want the things what the Most High has for you? Reverence the priest. Read.
Love him that made thee with all thy strength.
Yeah, love him that made thee. Have some faith and trust, man. The Most High created you for something better and greater. Not for you to waddle in your insecurities. The Most High has something better. Read.
And forsake not his ministry.
Forsake it, man. Forsake not the tools that the Most High has given you. Because the Most High wants us to be exalted and be shown as those people that they thought was nothing. But for that to happen, we have to first look at ourselves and understand that these weak-natured attributes about us, listen, those can be cut off quickly as long as we apply the Bible. Self-esteem, man. Your self-esteem comes from your confidence and your trust in the Most High. High self-esteem, not low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. Like the priest brought out, you're more than a conqueror. But with that, it's already 9:04.
Yeah. Y'all know the deal. Tomorrow we'll be here for Shabbat class. If y'all got any questions, save them. We will be here tomorrow. Lord willing. I'm going to start saying that a lot more. Most High willing, we'll be back here tomorrow to answer questions and everything. So have them ready. And we got to hit y'all with we got a few question classes that we're putting together. So we're going to probably try to drop one tomorrow. Keep coming with the question classes. I like them because it mixes it up. It gives us something to throw together. And it keeps it exciting. So keep doing that. And we will see y'all tomorrow, brothers and sisters. The water. Say shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Right.